Storm from Canada that dumped several inches of snow on the high plains and Rockies yesterday is now moving east.
And some much-needed rain will benefit the northeast and southeast parts of the country. We'll have the details for you coming up on this morning's Weather Scope for TGI Friday, September 22nd.
For a scope of coverage you won't find anywhere else, this is Weather Scope This Morning, sponsored by 100% Colombian Coffee.
Good morning. Thanks for tuning into the Weather Channel. You got Jim and Marnie here on a Friday morning, and still pretty warm in the east, Marnie, but as we move west into the plains, it's chilly.
Oh, it's an eye-opener. Another story today is a big deal in Rochester, New York, the Ryder Cup. You're going to have some radars out of that area.
That's right, I will. I will take you up there. Heaviest rain, though, off to the east this morning, so tea time should not be a problem.
Good. That's good news. All right. In central Kansas and other areas in the west, several inches of snow fell early morning on Thursday, and along with the heavy snow came record low temperatures. Mother Nature created a winter wonderland with a dusting of snow in Hays, Kansas, and that's a beautiful sight. Jim Cantori loves this kind of weather. He's sitting here going, Motorists had to get the snow off their cars, though, and some of those blooming fall flowers were taken a little by surprise. It was truly a unique sight, unlike Denver, where they picked up to 17 inches of snow nearby. Now, at the Buckhorn Mountains near Denver, 17 inches of snow, but officially at Buckley, Colorado, at Buckley Field in Denver, reports of 11 inches of snow. So that was the scene yesterday. And again, we just showed you those pictures out of Hays, Kansas. When will you usually average a first freeze? Well, across the northern tier, anywhere between usually the 15th to the 1st of October. Now, this is just looking at climatology. It's not a forecast, but this is usually what you'll see, usually between October 1st and the 15th here. And then, of course, we get into November and December in parts of Texas. But we do have frost and freeze advisories that have been posted for tonight into the morning hours in parts of Wisconsin, Indiana, and Illinois. So that cold air is moving in. You know, this is the earliest measurable snowfall for the folks in Dodge City, and they reported a little over an inch of precipitation there, a little inch of snow yesterday. So that's a record. Temperatures were way below normal with that snow flying around, down by 35 degrees in parts of Colorado and Kansas. And again, in the Denver area, 11 inches of snow at Buckley Field. And we have some records this morning. They're already coming in. We have two different pages of them. Here on South Dakota, you taught it, 25. Grand Island, Nebraska, 28. So temperatures are in the upper 20s and low 30s this morning. It is very chilly out there, and a lot of folks are setting records from Springfield, Missouri to Midland, Texas. So this is where the coldest area is. That cold polar high continues to build to the south. So temperatures are in the 20s and 30s, and they are breaking records. Now, you're not going to break any records here, but you will notice a cool down in the next couple of days. We'll tell you more in the long-range outlook. But right now in Rochester, for folks at the Ryder Cup, 60 degrees as you head out this morning, 63 in Boston, and 72 in D.C. Is it raining? Well, we'll show you a radar in a minute. Jim has an update. 70 currently in Atlanta, Georgia, and messy rush hour on tap today, 69 in Birmingham. So that's what we have right now across the U.S. Jim?
Yeah, 70 here in Atlanta, and we're trying to get Bruce to go out for coffee before the rains move on in. Well, another effect of the cold front was rain that fell in the southern plains and Midwest yesterday. We take you to Austin, Texas, where thunderstorms rumbled on through during yesterday's lunchtime hour. Residents had to pull out the umbrellas and take off the jackets as temperatures lingered into the 70s. Well, today, folks, you can pull out the winter jackets because it's cooled off in Austin, but we still haven't gotten rid of all those clouds yet, but we will as we go on in time. Check out the vapor this morning. You can really see a very decent shot of subtropical energy coming over the southeast, and it's been here for quite some time now. We've seen a lot of rainfall from Birmingham, Alabama, back into southern Texas. This is radar estimated precipitation over the last 24 hours, and as you can see, a lot of dark green and yellow from Texas through much of the deep south, and of course you're talking from 1.5 as much as 4, 5, 6 inches of rain here, and they had about 4, 5, 6 inches of rain there right around Birmingham yesterday, officially 3 at BHM, and as you can see, a lot of that rain never really made it into Atlanta. We are starting to see the showers move east this morning, so it's a little busy. Radar again pretty active along that subtropical branch, and sure enough, this is where we find a lot of the storms and showers this morning. Big thunderstorm complex there in South Texas. You can see the worst of that now, though, as far as the thunderstorms are concerned, are starting to move offshore. So some of the worst weather there. We still got a few rumblers going on east of Chattanooga.
but we will see some. We'll go out a little wider now and show you the region, and there's a good slug of rain out there off to our west, just moving into Pittsburgh and then down through the Ohio Valley, through the Tennessee Valley, and all the way down into Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia, and it is moving slowly but surely our way. You'll see it getting organized here and making its way up to the north and east a little bit, and that's what we're counting on, seeing some of that rain as we go through the day today. And AccuWeather says maybe half an inch, maybe even an inch in some spots. Warm on this side of the front, cooled on this side of the front. The front comes through later on tonight, and then colder air will come in, high pressure will build in, and we'll probably start to clear out as early as about midnight. And by tomorrow, we're back into some sunshine, but we are into some very, very cool numbers tomorrow. Let's check the call from AccuWeather, and everything I said yesterday, just ditto, because it's the same kind of day today with a little more. A little more in the way of rainfall today. Yesterday, just scattered showers. 82 was yesterday's high, 80 today. Let's go live this morning on Sky 6. And there it is, all the casinos lined up, beckoning. 70 degrees, our present temperature. The relative humidity, 90%. Steady barometer, 30.01. South wind at 5. Ocean temperature, 71 degrees. In the northeast, my lucky number? Yeah. 7 and 4. 69 in the northeast. 69 in Center City, 70 at the station and the airport, and 68 in Camden. The exclusive AccuWeather 5-day forecast. Let me see, my lucky number's only on here once. That's not good. Showers today with some heavy rain possible at times this afternoon. Maybe a thunderstorm. 80 degrees, warm and muggy during the day as well. Late clearing tonight, early showers. There'll be clouds around until about midnight, and then we'll start to break out of this thing a little bit. 56 degrees. A cooler day tomorrow. It'll feel like fall when fall arrives. 67 degrees, and we should end up with partly sunny skies tomorrow. Partly sunny skies on Sunday. We'll start in the chilly 40s on Sunday and end up at a high of about 65. 65 on Monday, more clouds around, stays cool, maybe a shower or two, and partly sunny on Tuesday. High temperature on Tuesday, 69 degrees. And yours?
8.
8
is my lucky number. You have 2 lucky numbers?
Tom Carper is asking the Clinton administration to issue an emergency declaration so the state can receive disaster loan assistance. The drought is expected to reduce this year's corn and soybean crop in Delaware by 25%.
Firefighters in Berwyn-Chester County are tipping their hats in a salute to one of their own. The sirens blared on the fire trucks at the Berwyn Fire Company.
Flashing in yellow, all moving up from the south and coming in from the west. We'll take a look, excuse me, a little wider picture. See, there's 2 batches, one down in Virginia and North Carolina, and the other, a big line of stuff in Virginia and North Carolina is sliding to the north, and all the stuff to the south is sliding to the northeast. So we're going to see some of this wet weather, and AccuWeather says this afternoon we could see some heavy downpours, maybe even a thunderstorm or two as the cold front gets closer, and we could see maybe an inch of rain before all is said and done. 80 degrees Washington, D.C., that's our side of the front. 50 degrees in Chicago, that's tomorrow's side of the front. And some of the records from yesterday, there is some unseasonably cold stuff. 19 degrees in Williston, North Dakota, and 22 degrees in Great Falls, Montana. The temperatures obviously will moderate by the time that air mass gets here. Let's check the call from AccuWeather, and it's so long summer. Today is the last full day of summer, and it'll feel like it. It'll be sticky, and we'll reach a high of 80 degrees this afternoon. Let's go live. Fall, that disappoints a lot of people, but some are disappointed every time fall arrives.
Nice weather is leaving us, and it gets dark early, and the day is shorter, and it's depressing to me.
Cold weather, high heat bills, raking leaves on an acre and a half of ground, shoveling snow.
Easy, Charles. It's only September. Most folks we met like fall, and one fellow, a tailor, thinks fall is a terrific time of year.
Getting ready for school, the weather changes, it brings a lot more work.
If you're a real weather watcher, you want to be precise. Fall arrives at exactly 8:13 a.m. tomorrow. Long-range forecast for fall calls for normal temperatures, which will feel nice, and only near normal precipitation, which is not as much as we need. Now, if you're a real cold weather buff, you're up. Winter will be here on November 22nd at 3:17 a.m. As I said, most folks we met are pretty happy about fall coming in for lots of reasons.
Fall means trees, leaves falling. It means orange and red colors. It means Halloween. It means Thanksgiving. It means fireplace, warm for the fireplace.
The weather, the way it is, that it cools off at night, but it still gets a little warm during the day. So you don't need your air conditioning on, but you don't need your heat on yet either.
The weather, the wind, the cold. Feels like a breath of fresh air. That's what it reminds me of.
I guess it's the temperature. It's the way it feels.
The scenery. Kids go back to school.
The truth is, fall is such a great time of year that even a fall hater can find something to like.
Well, it's close to Christmas.
He's got his list ready, I
Christmas
bet.
is coming.
Yeah.
It is definitely the best season of the year.
It's a tie with spring.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's
No,
pretty.
not.
News program in the Delaware Valley. When you see news happening, call the Action News tip line by dialing News 6. In New Jersey, dial 966-6666 or call our regional news bureaus.
Tomorrow morning, and in some parts of the nation, the leaves are showing their fall colors already. If you're a leaf watcher, we'll show you where you can expect to see some beautiful colors this weekend. We'll let you know in this half hour. Joan?
It's that time of the year. All right. Right now, though, let's get right to the morning's news. Here's Morton Dean. Hi, Mort.
Hi, Joan. Good morning, everyone. From the Blues Brothers to the News Brothers. Well, he's gone now, so it's just one News Brother.
So is your weather map going to give us the blues?
I don't think so. The snow has tapered off a bit, and although it's chilly in some locations, a pretty decent weekend shaping up. I think it's going to be a map you'll like. Here we go. High pressure settling into the nation's midsection here. This is a large pocket of cold air here. It feels more winter-like than fall-like, and it's not even fall yet. That begins tomorrow morning. Lots of snow is on the ground, but skies will be sunny. Areas that were hardest hit, like parts of Colorado, Wyoming, western Kansas, and Nebraska, have some power lines and trees down because of the weight of the snow. Today, most of the snow is tapered off. A little bit will fall in northern Michigan. There'll be heavy rain on the map today from New England and the North Atlantic states down to the mid-Atlantic, and some lighter amounts, although locally heavier amounts reaching along that frontal system you saw all the way down into Texas and the southern plains. It'll be warm in the interior parts of the west and southwest, maybe even reaching up to the Pacific Northwest. Today's highs in the nation's midsection will reach mainly into the 50s after some morning lows well below freezing, and only 40s the highs in the upper Midwest. That's a look at the national weather. Here's a look at what's happening where you are.
Good morning. I'm Monica.
Vicinity of this front, widespread cloud cover, rain, and some thunderstorms. Most of the thunderstorms showing up from the southern Appalachians to the Gulf coastal waters. And plenty of IFR and MVFR conditions are being reported as of 7 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, with the low ceilings and with the precipitation coming into the eastern United States. Also the low ceilings on the west coast. See a lot of IFR conditions here. Going to the winds at 5,000 feet with the high pressure building into the plain states. A pretty brisk flow coming here down through the plains. Going up a little bit higher to 10,000 feet. We see our trough of low pressure and strong southwest winds from Texas into New England. And at 34,000 feet, jet stream winds here exceeding 140 knots here from the west-southwest across Michigan. And pilots get that personal briefing before departure.
Plains and Rockies yesterday is now moving eastward.
And some much-needed rain will benefit the northeast and southeast parts of the country. We'll have details coming up on this morning's Weather Scope for Friday, September 22nd.
For a scope of coverage you won't find anywhere else, this is Weather Scope This Morning.
The front that turned parts of Colorado, Nebraska, and Kansas into winter wonderlands yesterday, now moving eastward. Good morning, everyone. I'm Bruce Edwards.
And I'm Mark Mancuso. In some parts of Colorado, believe it or not, over 1.5 feet of snow fell, 100,000 people or so without power.
Yeah, that's not the good news at all. While much needed rain, though, is heading into parts of the southeast and northeast, and that is indeed a bit of good news. But let's talk about the temperatures first of all. That's the major story going on.
Indeed it is, and you probably remember this song, Here Comes the Express.
Here comes the Express, no?
Here comes the Express, and the Express is the Arctic Express.
Must be a disco tune in his disco
I think
days.
it was. You were a disco Danny, weren't you? Okay. All right, so let's get away from John Travolta here and talk about the record cold and the snow that was doing a little dance here in the Plain States into Kansas. Boy, was it chilly and cold and snowy. These flowers here were covered with snow, and I tell you this, these fall flowers were taken by surprise, and it was quite a unique sight there to see that snow. Yes, summer snows. Summer is still officially with us, and already a little winter
in the summer. And what a hot summer it was in the Plain States, and now we're setting the stage for a cold, snowy winter. Well, let's check it out and start you off with at least a short-term outlook, and it's cold. Look at this. You're North Platte, Grand Island, Hastings, Sioux City, Peoria, Wichita, all in the 20s and 30s, shivering this morning. Yes, we talked about it earlier in the week about the fireplace weather, and it certainly is, as temperatures have dipped down to record levels, and this is just a tip of the iceberg. And here's all the cities that have reported record lows so far this morning. I'm sure there's more on the way. We did have frost and freeze warnings out in the plains last night, and now with the cold air shifting east, front's already into western Pennsylvania in its wake. Temperatures will really drop tonight, and we have frost and freeze advisories out for you. Oh, from Wisconsin into Indiana, the old Hoosier state. You'll be freezing tonight, even into the western third of Ohio. A frost advisory, so tender vegetation will need extra care. You might want to get out and pick those tomatoes, bring them on in. It could take a hurting tonight. Not so in the east tonight. It's going to be a very warm, muggy day today as the front is yet to pass on through. Look at these morning temperatures in Boston, Albany, New York, and Philly, as well as D.C. We're in the 60s and 70s, quite balmy. And here comes the front, and behind it, oh yeah, shiver me timbers. Here it comes into Detroit. You know it's there. And in the south, the front just kind of easing its way through Alabama and through Georgia. The front here is meeting some resistance as it's hitting the Appalachians now, and it's also meeting resistance with southwesterly winds. So this front will just kind of settle its way southeast for the next couple of days. But there you can see the tail ahead and behind the front, a tail of cooler weather into Dallas. Oh yeah, it's a raw one here. And the isobars, kind of tightly packed. That wind's blowing, and yes, that was a little white stuff. Northern Wisconsin and America's Dairyland, a little taste of snow with temperatures this morning in the 20s and the 30s. With more of the big chill, here's Bruce.
Alrighty, another effect of that cold front, besides the cold temperatures, was the rain that fell from the southern plains to the Midwest yesterday. In Austin, Texas.